Familiar Wilson's Media. Relationships are the story.
You are made of meat, my friend, all the way down.
The following podcast uses words like and also. If you're not into any of that shit, then now's your chance.
3, 2, 1.
Run.
Super familiar with Wilson. Get it.
Welcome to Super Familiar with the Wilsons. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Josh, and we are the podcast about Marriage 2.0 with kids.
And all of those damn side quests.
And today we're going to talk about the power of communal gathering as discovered through a children's movie. But first, folks, the mustache is back, babies.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the mustache has been there the whole time. It's just there was a beard connecting it all or a goatee, but now it is on its own, solo.
So you have opinions about the mustache.
Yeah, but I'm not mad at it right now. But I think I know what you did. You know, this is what you did. You shaved.
Yes, I did.
And you shaved a mustache and this really just not great soul patch. It wasn't even a soul patch. I don't know what it was.
It was a bristle brush.
It was like your razor ran out of batteries and you had to quit because it was perfectly rectangle. But it was sticking straight out. Anyway.
Because now the beard hair, especially in that section, is just totally white. It just looked like I had taken the bristles off of a toothbrush and stuck it to my face.
It did. And so I was trying to embrace all of you, and I didn't say junk about it, and we went about our day yesterday, and you had it there. But now that you have shaved that part of it, I'm embracing the mustache more, so I think this is what you've done.
I look younger, don't I?
You do look younger, and you've stepped me into appreciating the mustache.
Now you can pretend that you're having a bed date with a much younger man. And you're a cougar.
No, stop. It's still a white and gray mustache, friend.
I look 10 years younger.
You do.
And I'm embracing it. So there you go. It's not going to keep you from making whoopee with me.
Oh my God. I just got okay with bed date. Do not say whoopee to anyone. What is this? What is that? The Newlywed Game from the 70s?
Yeah, that's right. Folks, if you're too young and you haven't heard the Newlywed Game, you need to look up bloopers from the Newlywed Game. It's very much worth it. Like I said, we are going to talk about K-Pop Demon Hunters, but before that, I do want to mention my car situation as a public service announcement. Public service announcement. My car would not start when I dropped Winthrop off at school the other day. What I like to do is I like to pull up and I like to park and I like to walk him up to the cones instead of dropping him off on the traffic circle that they have. Yep. It's just something I've always done with him. He's still at the point where he lets me hold his hand, although we're kind of iffy on that sometimes. And so it's a thing that I really enjoy. So I park as usual. I take him up. I come back. Car wouldn't start.
I know.
I go to the principal and I'm like...
You go to the principal's office.
I went straight to the principal and I said, is it okay? No, first thing I said was, do y'all have a jump? Mm-hmm. Right? And they did have one of those jump boxes. Mm-hmm. So the school resource officer, in other words, the sheriff's deputy that hangs out there, grabbed that and we went to my car and the car was dead as a doornail. Mm-hmm. So I went back to the principal. I said, look, is it okay if I leave my car here because I got to get to work. I can't take care of this right now. So you come, you take me to work. Bada bing, bada boom. The day is done. We go back the next day, the next morning, to try to jump it because we had cables. And so I got in the car. I was like, well, what the heck? I'm going to try to start it up. I start it up. It goes just fine. I drive it home. And I'm like, this is so weird. It doesn't make sense for it to start up, for having a seemingly dead as a doornail battery, and then the next day have it start up. Made no sense to me until I started to think about the fact that I have a key fob that has a battery that I've never changed.
Okay.
And I've had this car for quite a while. I was like, I wonder if that could have anything to do with it. So I looked it up and it's like, absolutely, yes, it could. Now, what I can't imagine is for the key fob to have kind of died or had the battery have very little power, and then me not using it through the night, and then it having just enough juice the next day to start the car.
Well, you know what you're not taking into account?
Oh, several things, but that's my life. I don't take things into account.
You're not taking into account that the day that the car stopped working, what day was that?
Friday.
And what day was Friday?
The end of this. No.
It was Halloween.
No. Get
and the next
fuck
day
outta here.
was All Saints Day. And so your car played a Halloween trick on you, and then it revived itself for All Saints Day.
Yeah, it's either that or the fact that when I got in my car this morning, turned it on, drove it to the drugstore to buy a new battery for the fob. I saw for the first time the low battery key fob light.
Oh.
Or maybe I'd never noticed that there was a low fob key battery light, or low battery key fob light, I should say. And I saw it for the first time this morning. I was like, okay, well then that's clearly what happened.
Does your car not have a key though?
It does have a key.
Like your fob will come apart and be a key, right? So you could have just used that.
Well, but I don't know where to stick it. It's not evident where I need to stick it.
I mean, you're pretty good at sticking it places that it should go, so you should find out.
Oh, here we go. All right.
You're going to sing about it
We're
now?
going to take a quick break, folks. Be right back. Gotta catch my breath.
Oh,
catch my breath.
Right. Mm-hmm,
Okay.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Folks, I want you to know that the amount of time that little musical drop was the actual amount of time it took for me. Anyway, let's move on.
Oh, I'm so sorry to any of our children and or children's friends who listen to this podcast.
Let's talk. Yeah, I'm sorry to you. They'll be like, poor Amanda. We did go see K-Pop Demon Hunter for Winthrop's birthday in the theater because they had a sing-along version. Mm-hmm. So basically what happened was Netflix made all this money and they're like, hey, let's make some more money. Let's make it into a sing-along and have the kids go to it. So I went to it because it was a family
You so
event.
didn't want to go,
No, I
though.
didn't. And you were pissed at me because I brought my AirPods.
You walked. Okay, no. All right. So tomorrow is Muffy and Winthrop's birthday. They have the same birthday. Muffy's going to be 19 tomorrow. Winthrop's going to be 9. So I guess by the time this episode drops, happy birthday, Muffy and Winthrop. And if you're following it, Winthrop loves K-Pop Demon Hunters. Josh does not want to abide it at all. Friend of the pod, Josh Garr, has been trying to talk him into it. Wasn't interested. But then Muffy came up with the idea of taking Winthrop to the sing-along for his birthday, an early birthday present. Because y'all know, if you go to the movies now, it is an expensive, it's up there with birthday gifts because it is an expense. So she got the tickets. We went and Josh says to me, do I have to go to this ninja movie? So many things are wrong about this statement, sir. Yes, you have to go. It's your child's birthday present. Second of all, no ninjas. And then he's in the car just calling it K-Pop Ninja Hunters just to annoy Winthrop. And so we went. The man walks in with his AirPods in his ears in the ticket line, like going. And I yelled at him and he was like, no, it's not too loud. I was like, you lie. You're listening to Alan Carr's podcast and you know that you are.
I had thoughts of actually putting white noise on so that I could get a nap because it was one of these theaters with the fully reclining seats. And actually during the previews, I tried white noise apps.
Yeah.
And none of them could block anything out. So I'm like, well, shit. Okay. So I sit down, the movie starts and I gotta tell you, I found myself getting into it.
It's a great little film.
It is. It's all about the power of embracing who you are, the power of hope. One of the lines or one of the themes was that songs and music can change the world. And I'm really cynical about stuff like that. But part of the reason why I'm really cynical about stuff like that is because of the world in which we live. Mm-hmm. And so I was having a conversation with a friend of ours today talking about how this movie kind of changed my mind. Now follow me here about the usefulness and efficacy of public protesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we know all the public protesting, that's going on now. And I've been pretty negative about
right. It's not going to change anything.
What's the point of this? But the feeling that I got in this movie theater, surrounded by 7, 8, and 9-year-olds, and the words were on the screen. They were all singing together, and it was actually a really moving, lovely communal experience.
I cried.
No, yeah, it was. So my mind was changed on the movie and on the music because of that experience, and my mind was changed, believe it or not, on protesting because of K-pop Ninja Hunter.
That's Demon Hunter, but okay.
So I'm texting all of this to a friend of mine today. I just texted him. I actually sent him a poem that I'd written. And I asked him how he was doing. He says that, he was tired and all this and that. But he said that he felt hopeful because it's the kind of conversation that we usually have is just about the state of the world. And I'm like, funny that you should say that. I went to go see this movie, K-pop Demon Hunter. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. And then I gave my whole spiel. And he goes, I fucking love K-pop Demon Hunter. Yes, Chris Barron of the Spin Doctors. I was going to
say, but this was Chris Barron.
Loves K-pop Demon Hunters. And I actually texted him because I don't ever share our private texts on this podcast. I said, would it be okay if I mention your love of this on the show? He said, hell yes. It's actually one of my favorite things I've seen this year. And you can quote me on that.
Yes, good.
So, Josh Scar, hear that? The lead singer of the Spin Doctors is with you on the love of this movie.
It was so special. And Winthrop was so into it and just singing at the top of his lungs and doing the choreography. And I cry every time we are at a live performance and like the lights go down and then the stage lights come up. It is the power of a live art experience for me. Typically it's theater, but I just sat there and cried because there is something so moving about people experiencing something together. And you and I have had this conversation about protest before, and you were talking about the efficacy of it. Like, what does it actually do? And my feeling on that is it's not necessarily, yes, the hope is there that it's going to bring about change, but it is to make people feel like they have agency.
Yeah.
Like I've got all of this anger, or I've got all of this fear, and I need to do something with it. And so I'm going to come together with people who feel like me or think like me. And just for those moments of being together, you get hopeful.
Well, I think it's even more profound than that, or it has the possibility of being, because feeling like you have agency, but having that be a false feeling, to me is nonsense. I believe more than that. It has to be that this good feeling that we have, this feeling that we have agency, will then embolden us to actually take real action, which is the only thing that really matters is actual action. And whereas before I thought that these public displays were just a bit masturbatory, now having felt it, I kind of see the error of my ways in that because it was very, very, very powerful, that experience.
I mean, and that's the point, right, of the movie, is that like collectively coming together for this thing overcomes. And it was so sweet because there was I took one for the team and sat next to the people not in our party because we were like right in the middle and we're going to have to bump up against other people. So I sat there. You sat all the way on the other end, but there was a family. I think that it was like a mom and a teenage granddaughter and then the grandpa. And I don't think the grandfather spoke English because they were speaking to him in Spanish most of the time.
Right.
But, and this is one of those times where you can talk in the movie and it doesn't bother anybody because you are there especially to just engage.
Yeah, and most
sing.
of the parents probably had their AirPods in.
Yes. Well, but they didn't get a profound moment like you did.
Yeah.
And anyway, he was so sweet. This little old man who was probably in his late 70s, early 80s, and he was just pumping his fist, and he was clapping, and it was just so lovely.
Yeah.
And Winthrop got a touch of the stardom, because he went dressed as Baby Saja, which was his Halloween costume.
Which is one of the characters.
Which is the rapper.
That everyone knows what we're talking about here.
It's the rapper of the Saja Boys, which is the demon boy band group. And
God, now you need to stop explaining the movie now, because now I'm starting to fall out of love with it again.
Hush. I said 5 words. Put your earbuds in and listen to Alan Carr. Anyway, he wore his costume. We're like, do you want to wear your costume? And he said he did. And we were walking out, and this child from across the way, like outside at a restaurant, screams, "Baby Saja!" And he turns around and she said, "I'm your biggest fan." And he was still talking about that night when I tucked him in for bed. Remember when that girl said she was my biggest fan? His biggest fan, by the way, not Baby Sasha's biggest fan. So I think he's had a touch of the fame.
Well, I think that other child's had a touch of the hysteria because that wasn't the actual character. I hope she didn't think that she actually saw this guy. So anyway.
Yeah, I think she's just trying to make him feel good.
I was open enough to allow myself to have that experience. So I'm giving myself 5 points.
So didn't realize it was game time, but thank you for joining us at the K-pop Ninja movie.
Speaking of the power of collective will, we have an update on the HOA situation. Woohoo! So for those of you who this is your first show, which by God, if this is your first show, you have no fucking idea what's going on. But we are engaged in a little bit of a back and forth with the developers of our community here. And we noticed today that they were removing the windows out of the shell of a half-completed house that is falling over the next street over. And we know that means that the developers are scavenging all the useful shit out of this house, so then it could be knocked down.
Because that's what happened to the one next to our house.
Now that is 2 houses that they've had to knock down because of us. The picture that I have in my mind is, you know that when you're playing Monopoly and you get really fed up and you just knock the board over and all the houses go tumbling? This is like that, except in really slow motion. That's what this is reminding me of. So that is our update. Slowly, like the water carving the Grand Canyon, we are going to have our way, and our neighborhood is not going to look like crap.
So speaking of going to the Ninja movie, we were driving there and we saw a very odd thing. So there are a lot of these, these mopeds or Vespas if you want to be fancy, but these scooters that people drive around, there's billions of them here because we're in a college town. And they only go about 35 miles an hour. So you get stuck behind one, it's not great. But we were behind one the other day, and I've never seen a person do this where the person who was riding it had both feet out, not on the shelf for your footrest, whatever that thing is.
Shelf for your foot.
I don't know what it's called.
It's the shelf for your foot. Yes, absolutely.
I mean, it's essentially what that is. They had their feet out almost to the ground of the road.
When I saw it, because I think I saw it first, when I saw it, it looked like this person was balancing on the 2 tires and then the 2 feet to the side like training wheels.
Yes.
And and on these feet were 2 pink
fuzzy house slippers. Not even with the back, just the front half. It was not safe, friends. She was very, very close to Flintstoning it with her feet. It was just not good.
Maybe, I didn't think about that. Maybe her brakes didn't work. I asked the question of our listeners, what's the craziest thing you've seen on the road? Amanda, what's the craziest thing you've seen on the road?
Well, the craziest thing I've seen on the road, I happen to know was one of your answers because you got it from somebody else in our family.
Well, go ahead. So Muffy answered the question, and she answered what?
I had forgotten that this had happened, but we were driving back. I think we had been in North Carolina, and we were on, some interstate, and there was a car on fire. And the person who had been in the car, I'm assuming, was out of the car and had stripped down to her bra and her underwear and were using her clothes to try to fan out the flame.
To try to beat the
flame.
The hood was open. The flames were pouring off the engine, and she was trying to put it out with her jeans.
Yeah, so she.
I don't know why. The shirt had to come off too.
Maybe the shirt was on fire. I don't know, but the woman was in her bra and panties on the side of the road trying to put out this fire.
Yeah, it was one of those things where we passed by it really quickly, and we were all like, "Did you just see that?
Did I see what I thought I saw?"
So here are some of your answers. Ken, who's a friend of ours,
yes,
Ken said a tumbling couch on I-595 in South Florida. It fell off a pickup truck, was tumbling towards me, and I had to swerve 2 lanes over to avoid it. Love seat, brown leather. I'll never forget it. I've had like yard debris come flying towards me, but never furniture. Although I will say, growing up in Miami, there was always a possibility that something large was going to fly off a car, whether furniture or another dude. All right, so friend Ricky says this. He said, saw a guy asleep at the wheel wasted on I-75 once.
Ooh.
We watched him sleep going 70 miles per hour for like 5 minutes. We were beside him and honking for a while. Then we just passed him, called the cops, and hoped he didn't die or kill anyone else.
So you don't know what happened?
No, they got the hell out of there.
How is he going straight?
Cruise control?
But the road doesn't go the cruise control. Well, I guess if he had the ones that keeps you in your lane, then yeah.
Oh, maybe, but I got the impression this was that would be amazing though. I got to ask Ricky if it was recent when they have the steer assist.
Okay, but
because that's possible then, right?
Yeah, but we don't have it on our cars, but when I rent a car for work and the steer assist, I will mess with it where I will let go of the steering wheel but keep my hands like hovering right above it, like that woman with her feet on the road.
Safe.
No, just to see how long it'll let me do it. And I will say probably after like 30 seconds or so, it starts beeping at you to put your hands back on the wheel.
Oh, so it knows.
So, I mean, this guy couldn't have slept through that.
So maybe this was like 10 years ago before that technology, and this dude's tires were just very well aligned.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good job, sir. All right, next. Our neighbor Tony says he was on I-85. Why is everyone giving us the road that they were on with these stories? That's going to add the correct amount of credibility to the story. Right outside of Montgomery, Alabama.
Montgomery?
I saw like 10 to 12 cows running down the interstate.
Oh, no.
A truck had lost its trailer full of cows, and there were people running around trying to catch them. Shut the entire interstate on both sides down.
Were the cows running with traffic or toward it?
Why? It depends on what kind of ticket they get. All right, next, friend Mark. I grew up with Mark, also known as Marty, or at least that's what we call him, Marty. Actually, that's what I called him. He wasn't known as that. I just called him.
I've never heard of a Marty in your life ever.
There were two Martys, actually. He was the second Marty, and he wasn't even a real Marty. Mark says this, I got stuck on I-75 in Atlanta during Freaknik. So Freaknik is an annual spring break festival in Atlanta, Georgia that no longer happens anymore because of the cops.
I remember Freaknik, yeah.
So I'd looked that up because I'd never heard of it before.
Yeah.
Anyway, he continues. There were topless college girls leaving their cars, running up and down I-75. There was one car must have had like 45 girls, like a clown car. Then all of a sudden, they all lined up, squatted down, and took a dump in unison.
What?
There were these evenly spaced turds aligned along the side of the road for like a mile. Some guy was selling T-shirts.
No. I mean, but how do you time? Everybody has to go at the same time.
Well, that's what he says. He says, I'm not sure if that was a planned event or a spontaneously choreographed hybrid ballet of defecation. Imagine how many bowels have to align. Well, you know that when a bunch of females spend time together, their periods align.
No, does not work the way you were about to say it's going to work. Sorry to you and or Marty. No.
Professor Mike O'Malley weighs in. This is an interesting one. First thing that comes to mind is when we lived across the street from the Obamas in Chicago, and we were backing out of our parallel parking space and had to block oncoming cars for a few moments. And among the cars being blocked were Malia Obama's 2 SUV motorcade.
Oh.
She rolled down the back window and glared at us in disdain. That's good. That is good.
I did not know that Mike O'Malley lived across the street from the Obamas.
Neither did I. Layers, that guy. Chicken Tom says, I have a wild story about my ex-wife running over a mattress in the road. She panicked and kept driving.
Was she stuck on top of the mattress and her wheels were just spinning, or was she dragging it with her?
She panicked and kept driving, mattress wedged under the car. Got to the corner of these two roads that are close by. Burst into flames and the car burned to the ground.
Oh, no.
I asked myself what the odds of that happening was. Apparently high. About 6 months later, Aaron Carter, brother of Backstreet Boys' Nick Carter, was on I-75 or the Turnpike, hit a mattress on the road. It got wedged under his SUV and caught fire and burned to the ground. So then there's that.
So is it something in the mattress?
Yeah, I don't know. What are the odds?
I mean, I'm hoping that... I mean, I know you're no longer married to this woman, but I'm hoping she escaped the fire.
Yep. Refined Gay Jeff, who we have a letter from a little bit later, says this. The scariest thing I ever saw was driving along the coast north of Acapulco in Mexico, and every 10 to 15 miles were these group of men in army fatigues sitting practically on the pavement of the road beside their campfires they had built, all holding machine guns.
Yeah, no, that's terrifying.
Sounds like Florida. So there you go. Mine was, strangely enough, when we were driving in Houston to go see Refined Gay Jeff, and we passed by this dude being held at gunpoint by the cops in the middle of the road.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Yeah, I know. Scary, scary stuff.
I'm from Miami, and I had to go to another city to experience that for the first time.
Yeah.
All right, so if you have a story, the weirdest thing, the strangest thing that's happened to you on the road or that you've seen on the road, go ahead and email us at familiarwilsons@gmail.com.
You know what? I just remembered.
What's that? Just put it in an email.
No. It was in Miami. So I had gone to Miami last summer for work, and we were coming back. You weren't with me. We were coming back, and there was definitely a car going the wrong way on the interstate.
Oh, sure. But that's
like a thing
common.
that happens frequently there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, but they had gotten far. Maybe it's the guy that Ricky saw asleep, and he's just made this big loop.
Yes. He made it all the way down to Miami. The song quiz is back.
I had forgotten about this being a tormentor in my life.
So this is very easy, and folks, you can play along.
It's not easy, friends.
It is very easy. I will give you a cryptic clue for a song and the artist that sings that song, and your job is to figure out the song and the artist that sings that song. Now, Amanda's going to play along with you. If she gets it, she's free to tell me that she's gotten it, but don't want her to reveal the answer until next week.
Don't worry, friends. I won't get it.
You might. All right. So the song is, again, this is a cryptic clue that will lead you to the name of the song. What you say to Mr. Cheadle when Man United scores.
Okay.
What you say to Mr. Cheadle when Man United scores.
Okay.
And the artist or band is The Magic That I Do to Bag Myself a Deer.
Oh, Lord.
The Magic That I Do to Bag Myself a Deer.
Okay.
Do you think, folks out there, you know the song and the artist? Email us at familiarwilsons@gmail.com. And speaking of both bits that we haven't done in a while and a contest or a game, I got another one for you. It's time to play What the Fuck John Say?
Also things I don't understand. 2 games back to back that I don't understand.
Our Scottish friend John Watson sends us a Scottish phrase for Amanda and you all to try to translate. All right, so I'm going to play it here. You're going to try to guess what it is, and you're going to email us at familiarwilsons@gmail.com if you know what he's saying, but also if you know what the phrase means.
Okay, but to be clear, he's saying it in English. He's not saying it in Scottish Gaelic. Like he's
saying it with his particularly wonderful Scottish brogue.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yes.
Now, Amanda, if you get this, I don't want you to say it out loud. I just want you to think about it.
Don't worry.
All right, here we go.
Okay, sorry. Your bum's out the window. Your bum's out the window.
All right, do you think you know what it is?
I mean, I kind of do.
Do you think you know what it means?
Maybe.
All right, folks out there, if you understand what he's saying and you know what it means, please let us know. familiarwilsons@gmail.com. And, of course, thanks, John. And now it's time for Refined Gay Thoughts with Refined Gay Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
Happy November, Wilsons. He starts. Can you believe that October is now out of here like someone who just finished a grinder hookup and left as soon as they could? Okay. It's a mad dash till the end of the year now, and I'm living for it.
Me
it's my
too.
absolute favorite time of the calendar year. Cooler weather. Well, just a little here in Texas, but I'll take anything. Shorter days, which I secretly kind of love. I'm going to break in here. Jeff, I do not. Last night, the first night of this time change, we were in bed at fucking 5:30.
I was because I wasn't feeling well.
Right, but what am I going to do? And so it gets...
Children were here.
I know, but they were doing their own thing or whatever. It got around 8 o'clock, and I'm like, this evening is interminable. I could not believe it.
I thought about it and I woke up. I think I slept like 14 hours.
Right, but I couldn't sleep because my body was like, it's not time. But my eyes were like, yeah, it is. And I didn't like that cognitive dissonance. Anyway, keep on with Jeff's letter, Josh. Okay, well, here we go. Autumn leaves, another thing that he likes, even though there's not a tremendous amount. Texas autumn arrives around the first or second week of December, believe it or not. Preparation and anticipation for Thanksgiving and the December holidays, and a general lift in my spirits because I love this season so much. And then the birthday celebration for me in mid-January. Well, Jeff, we don't have that on our holiday calendar, but we do love Thanksgiving and Christmas.
And we also love Jeff, so we'll love your birthday for you.
Of course. Oh, shall we have a birthday party here in honor of him?
Yes.
We totally should. That would be awesome.
Have a Jeff's birthday party.
Yes. Speaking of my birthday, I went ahead and bought an early present for myself, even though it won't be realized until 3 days after my birthday. I bought tickets for a concert on January 17th, and I couldn't even tell anyone about it at work when I purchased them online because the late Gen X and millennials won't even know who I'm talking about. Being a baby boomer, well, actually, I consider myself a part of the newer, updated, more in-tune group called Generation Jones.
Never heard of this in my entire life.
Jeff, did you make this up? Generation Jones. Like Keeping Up with the Joneses?
I guess. I don't know.
Okay, anyway. Allowed me to grow up with phenomenal music. I purchased tickets to see Herb Alpert and the new Tijuana Brass, and I'm beyond excited. Are you familiar with this group?
None of those words. I know Tijuana. I know Brass. I had an Uncle Herb.
Well, maybe this is the guy who knows. He's recorded 28 albums, 5 of which reached number 1. He's also the only musician to have reached number 1 on Billboard Top 100 as both a vocalist and as an instrumentalist. He's 90 years old, so I hope he takes really good care of himself between now and mid-January. I'm going to tell you, I got in trouble last time I talked about old musicians getting on the stage. See the episode where I had to actually issue an apology to Frankie Valli. I'm just going to say, good on this guy, Herb. You know, as long as he's having fun and they're not trotting him out, making him play, and then, putting him away in a corner while they use the money, that's fine. He goes on. I didn't get to do all the things I wanted for Halloween this past weekend. My friend group that I consider my family here in Houston has a small gathering that we have created primarily for Halloween, but we do invoke it periodically during the week as well. We call ourselves the Witches' Council.
I love it so much.
And whenever we meet, it's called the Covenstead, like homestead. We gather wearing our witch's hat, light candles, drink wine, and dish on whatever needs to be said. Jeff, isn't that called Friday night? Usually it's just bantering back and forth or making eyes and inappropriate gestures to any hot bears, muscle daddies, or twunks that we happen to see.
What's a twunk?
He was hoping you would ask. I don't think I've talked about this one, he said. It's a twink who's aged out of his first 25 years, has put some meat on his bones, or added some luscious muscle. Would that be me?
Don't make me classify you.
Obviously, it's a portmanteau between twink and hunk. Think Zac Efron, Taylor Lautner, people I don't know, and Brandon Perea. Who's Taylor Zachar Perez?
I don't know who that is.
Mercy, they could pass me around like Thanksgiving gravy. Anyway, we gathered at my friend Dale's place, bought wine, I brought vodka, and also brought 3 to 4 different elements for a ginormous charcuterie spread that we created. It was massive and I ate too much. By the end of the evening, around 11-ish, I went home without getting to the neighborhood to see all the costumes. But he still had a fabulous night.
Yes, you did.
He said this about what I said about all of the frickin' Halloween candy. He agrees that the several nights of Halloween candy procurement is now out of hand. It's almost like Big Pharma is banking on the sale of future drug medications to combat diabetes and weight gain. Would Winthrop be interested in donating some of his candy to food banks or soup kitchens? Just a thought.
That's a really good idea.
Diabetes.
Winthrop School does this thing where you give them your candy and they sell it to a local orthodontist, and then for every pound of candy that you give to the orthodontist, they give $1 to the school's PTO.
Then what do they do with the candy? They throw it away?
The orthodontist used to send it to troops that were deployed. I don't know if that's still a thing.
Concerning parties, Jeff said, Like Amanda, if I know I've invited someone that knows no one else, I'll try to make some connections for them. But at the same time, I realize these are grown-ass adults and they can practice being a contributing member of society and do that for themselves as well.
That's a good point, Jeff.
I am not big on structured parties because I had asked that question. Yeah. Dale, my friend that I bought my house from, always had a huge Christmas party every year here at my now house. The theme of his parties was always the same. It was called Christmas balls, and everyone had to bring their hors d'oeuvres in the shape of a ball. The tagline on the invitation was, I want to fit all your balls into my mouth.
Oh, God.
We had a contest, and everyone voted on their favorite balls that were brought. That was the only structure we had at those parties. Not to brag, but I won the best balls for the last 3 years of his parties before he sold the house to me. Amanda wants to get Winthrop a Casio keyboard.
Yes, I guess I do.
He says, good call on that keyboard, but I have a question. What is a gaming chair? That's a new term for me, I guess, simply because the last video game I ever played was on my Atari back in the late 70s.
It's marketing. It's just this ergonomic chair that you're supposed to be able to lean back in and have it's dumb. He's not getting one, so you don't even know what it is.
We mentioned a story last week where someone shot a speculum out of their vagina.
Yes.
onto their or at their gynecologist. He said, if that happened to me, I would lay my body down on the floor in the shape of a cross and give up the spirit. I also talked about the person who said that whenever they had bread slices, they needed to be the partner or like the ones that are right next to the other one.
They're mates, yes.
He says that he agrees with that. Speaking of sliced bread, have I ever told you that a friend of mine is the great-grandson of the man that invented the machine that makes sliced bread? His great-grandfather made millions. Every time I hear the phrase better than sliced bread, I always think of him.
Millions?
Yeah.
For slicing bread?
Yeah, but it's the first machine that did it.
I know.
That's like why they always say that Jimi Hendrix was the greatest guitar player ever. There's guitar players now who are much better than him, but he was basically one of the first. Yeah. And so that's why that's a thing. Well, guys, I'm off to my Sunday fun day at the Ripcord. I guess I really should not drink today since I'm taking steroids, but my research has yielded results that say it's not explicitly verboten, just not recommended. He hopes this week is everything wonderful for us and that we limit Winthrop's chocolate intake.
Well, we have a problem with that because tomorrow's Winthrop's birthday and I got him a chocolate cake because Winthrop loves himself a chocolate cake with chocolate frosting. Muffy is getting a vanilla cake with vanilla frosting. These are the two children. Do you know what this child has said to me the other day?
Winthrop?
Yes.
Okay.
He uses the most precocious verbs for somebody his age. We were talking, he told me he was thirsty the other night at bedtime, and so I gave him water, and then he said something to me like, I haven't consumed enough water today.
Oh,
the child
darling.
Said consumed.
Yeah.
I don't have
he's a
words
problem
for this child.
But we love him.
But
he's a problem.
But it's his birthday, so everybody reach out and wish Muffy and Winthrop very happy 19th and 9th birthday tomorrow.
All right, Amanda, that's all there is. There is no more. What'd you think of that mess?
I mean, it was a mess, but I enjoyed it.
So here are the people without whom we would not be able to create this cacophony of sound, light, and wonder. We'd like to thank Antonio, Josh Scar, and Daniel J. Buckets, Chicken Tom, Matt, Monique from Germany, Joey, Ryan Baker, Leo, Refine Gage F, Mark and Rachel, and of course, Dan and Gavin. Do you want to be a part of that list? Well, then you need to contribute a little bit more, folks. Come on.
Just pick up the slack, friends.
Buck it up. All right, folks. Until next time, I'm here to tell you that you got to enjoy life because what else you going to do?
Go sing some K-pop Demon Hunter songs.
Yes.
And be kind.
Bye.
Bye.